Today, we've got Cosmin. Cosmin spent years working as a help desk engineer supporting the infrastructure for a big bank, deep in on-prem operations, tickets, PowerShell scripting, all of the behind the scenes work that keeps a company running. But he could see exactly where things were heading. Everything was moving from on-prem to the cloud, and he knew if he stayed where he was, he end up isolated, stuck in a niche with no real way to grow. So he started learning on his own, YouTube videos, Udemy courses, but he was missing the one thing that actually moves the needle: structure, mentorship, and real project feedback. And as he put it himself, he was going left and right without a real map of where to actually go. So he made a decision and he went all in and joined my Cloud Engineering Academy back in March of 2026. And here is the part that genuinely blew me away. By week 4, and I mean week 4, Cosmin already landed his first AWS cloud engineer interview, sat in front of two senior architects, and just 2 months after joining, while still going through the program and doing all of it on top of the full-time job that he has, he got hired as a cloud engineer. And that makes him probably one of the fastest results that we have ever had before. And there's one detail that makes this even more impressive. But I'll let him tell you that part himself in this video. So we are going to cover his full journey, why he felt stuck, what made him finally commit, that early interview that he had, the mindset shift he had to make, and how he pulled off a result so fast. And if you want my help breaking into cloud and getting results like Cosmin and land six-figure cloud engineering jobs, then just click the link below and see how we can help you. Enjoy the video. Welcome, Cosmin. It's great to have you here and really excited to go through your transformation. Before we get into the win that you've had, take me back to before joining the academy. What were you doing and what was the role?
Mhm. So before joining the academy, I was working as an exchange system engineer. I decided that I need to develop myself and to find new technologies which are more on the demand on the market. And
Mhm.
then I found your academy on internet, and then I decided that this is something that I would like to join and to start building up
Yeah,
knowledge, which is the future. Let's say it straight to the point.
yeah. What was the day to day like for your exchange systems engineer role? What was you doing?
I was supporting the infrastructure. I was doing the operations for a big bank from Frankfurt. Um, Tickets, but also projects.
Mhm.
But I was just focusing on Exchange and Exchange scripting and PowerShell and so on. And then saw basically that everything is being moved from on-prem to the cloud. And then I was missing some information on from what to start from and how should I do it. I mean, I was just spending some time just watching YouTube videos. I was just starting to watch tutorials and then some trainings, but I was missing the mentorship part,
Yeah,
the guidance, and I didn't know how to build up projects. So I decided that basically I need someone with experience who can guide me through this path because otherwise I will just lose time, which
yeah.
time is quite valuable. It's one
Mm.
of the most important resource which you have. So then I decided to join and to start building up.
Okay, makes sense. The role that you were in, why did you want to change?
Um, I was feeling that I'm pretty much stuck in that thing.
Mhm.
And anyway, Exchange as a technology, it's evolving also in the cloud
Mhm.
direction. So we have now Exchange Online. Not only Exchange Online, but if you go in the cloud direction, then you will have Teams, you will have SharePoint Online, you will have OneDrive, you have everything which is in this package, in this family, which is evolving so much in something which is called modern workplace
Yeah.
environment. And this is like the future, right? Because everything is being migrated from on-prem to the cloud.
Yeah.
And it's not enough only to have Exchange knowledge. You need to develop yourself also in Azure cloud environment to know how to build up. How is the infrastructure behind the Azure? What are the services and all these things? And yeah, so I decided let's do that.
Okay, so you basically saw that there's going to be a need for you to learn cloud infrastructure based on the uh, exchange work that you were doing. And when you said you were stuck, what were you stuck at specifically? Was it like the role specifically is a little bit niche, or was you not enjoying the role that you were in? Like what do you mean when you say stuck?
I saw that it's not enough. I
Mm,
saw that this is just one piece of a cake. And if you don't see the full picture and you are not upgrading your skills, you'll end up isolated yourself and having basically zero chances to evolve and to develop yourself. Um, and of course, there was also cloud teams in my company, but they were not willing to take someone from zero, let's say it like that. They would need someone at least with a mid kind of
level.
knowledge, yeah,
Yeah.
level. Because if you are just at the beginning of your journey and you don't know the basic of the cloud, they will spend too much time learning you, and they're not willing to
Teaching you, yeah.
teaching
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
So
Because there's projects going on and stuff, they don't really have the time, I guess. So, you decided that you wanted to do cloud, but did you think of doing anything else like cybersecurity or networking or software engineering? Or were you pretty adamant cloud is the way to go because of the work that you were doing and you could see that it's going to be growing?
uh, cloud infrastructure and security in the cloud, they are going together and by hand. You cannot discuss about working in the cloud or building up infrastructure in the cloud without having a solid security knowledge and having also, of course, knowledge in the area of networking and the storage and backup and all these things. So, of course, I was having already a knowledge in the networking area because I was working daily with the networking teams,
Hmm.
and part of my work was also developing things in the networking area. So storage was also part of my work, let's say it, and also the backup and restore. So these were not new concepts for me, but the way how they are built up in the cloud is totally different from the on-prem, and it's
Yeah.
completely different.
Yeah, makes sense. And then before you found the academy, did you try to do anything on your own, like a Udemy course, YouTube videos, certs? Did you try to do anything on your own to learn cloud?
Actually, yes, I did. I started just to have some basic knowledge in this area. But at least from what I can see, these trainings are not so much focused on the developing your skills in the project area.
Hmm.
And also, you are watching a video, you have some exercises, maybe some lab, and that's it. But you will not have interaction with a trainer to guide you when you do some mistakes or you have some maybe ideas which you think it might work, but you end up testing something and you see that this was not such a good idea.
Yeah.
And then you lose another month and another month, and then
Mm.
you're basically just going left, right without having a real map where to
Yeah.
where to go.
Yeah. So you tried to do some stuff on your own, some courses, but you realized that you need actually structure, you need accountability, you need mentorship, you need feedback, right? All those things that you don't get. Is
Yeah,
that right?
exactly. And the sessions we had together with the other colleagues, so on, was quite important for me because it helped me to start thinking in more in a architecture manner,
Hmm.
which was missing from my way of being and discussing about the things. So, And this I realized when I started to apply for jobs because I had interviews and people wanted to know exactly what do I want to do in this way or that way.
Mhm.
You need to explain the things. They want to see how you think, how you are reacting in real situation they have from their own companies. And this part was missing because I didn't went to that level to see how you can speak like someone who's developing solution, developing projects, and thinking in the architecture manner. This is something which completely shifted my way of working and doing, and
Mhm.
this has helped me a lot.
Yeah, makes sense. So that's all the stuff that you started to do in the academy. But before you joined, like what made you pull the trigger and actually join the academy rather than like most people do, they'll just keep watching on the outside and not make that decision to join. So why did you think, okay, I need to go for this and do this?
The answer is very simple, Suleiman. It's the time.
Hmm.
If you want to achieve some goals in a short time, or at least in some measurable time, then it's better to have a mentor by your side. If you do this by yourself, I'm not saying that this is not possible. It's possible, but most probably it will take more time because
Yeah.
you need to try, fail, see what was wrong, then start again, and so on. And some people are losing their focus, and this is the one of the biggest issue I have seen around. People are being discouraged after some time, and then
Mhm.
they lose confidence in their work and their abilities, and then I don't know, they might stop or they are not doing in the same piece as if they are doing before. So all these kind of things, I would say, are the things which people needs to be aware.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will do that. They'll do cloud, and then, like you said, they don't get any feedback on the work that they're doing. They struggle, and then they quit and they give up, and they say, "Hey, it's not possible," or they say, "Hey, AI is taking the job, so I'm not going to do it," and they make excuses for why they can't do it. But in your instance, the big one for you is like compress the time. You know you need to do this, and pulled the trigger in that sense. And I had a look. You joined in March, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, March 2026. It's now May 2026. You might be the second student that's had the fastest result of getting a role. So that's basically 2 months. I think the fastest would have been probably Alex Brooks. Um, but Alex was already kind of learning cloud stuff beforehand. So you are basically number one in terms of speed of getting a result and getting hired. So that's really, really impressive. But there is certain things that you did that I noticed throughout, which we'll come to. But what was the experience like in the academy once you joined? What stood out for you the most?
I saw that I saw people in the similar situation like myself, and I saw that um, sometimes, especially in the sessions, the room that you creating during the sessions, and we are sitting together and we are trying to find ourselves how we would implement some solutions and so on. This is something which it's like you are feeling that you are working already for a company and you have some colleagues just sitting right next to you, and this these things that are coming up in these sessions are giving you the sense of what you're doing. It's important. And the second thing is that and this is also something that I learned from you, when you start doing something that just you need to focus on that, isolate yourself from the environment, don't do social media, don't spend time on nonsense things, don't get distracted by people or environment which is not helping you at all,
Mm.
and then you'll come up with the results. If you do that, then it's something that it definitely will make the difference. Yeah, because most of the people are coming back from the job sitting in front of a TV or wasting time on social media. Days are going by and years
Yeah.
and months, and when
Mm.
you sum up, you see that basically you have not done too much things.
Yeah. I think time goes really quickly, basically. So like you need to make the most of every day. And I think for you, obviously, you were joining the sessions, it would have been after your work day. So like you would do your work day and then join the sessions in the evening, which is pretty good. W when you joined, was it specifically the technical side that you needed, or was it more also like the mindset, accountability? And at what point did you think, okay, like this is the right place for me? Like when did a shift happen for you to think, okay, I'm learning, I'm picking things up, and kind of made the right decision.
When I joined to the academy, I was starting from almost zero knowledge in the cloud area. Um, Everything was pretty much new for me.
Mm,
I was not aware of the concepts of the foundation of how the cloud is working. So, saying very honest, I start up and building up in your academy. Uh, After learning, uh, weeks by weeks, I started working on the projects. Yes, you are right. I was doing this after my work. During my work, I was focusing on my job,
mm,
coming at home, working on the trainings I had, on joining to the sessions, um, and also starting to look on the market, trying to see how is the market evolving and
yeah,
what kind of jobs I would be able to get because this is what I was doing was definitely not something that I wanted to do in the future. Yeah.
yeah. I remember there was a session when I don't know if it was you that asked, someone asked me about applying for jobs, and I was like, you should just apply for jobs as soon as you can. And then you went missing for like a session, and then you came back and you said, "Hey, I had an interview," and I was like, "What?" So
Yeah.
like this is like I don't know if you was like week 3 or week 4, maybe even not, but you was like, "Hey,
Yeah.
I already had a technical interview for a cloud role," and it was like, "Whoa, like how did that happen?" So just talk through what made you kind of like go and apply very early on, and what that experience was.
Yeah. Um, I was just wanted to see how is in the reality, if I'm on the right track or what is required. And this decision I took after one of the session I had on the academy, yeah, for the preparing for the interviews. And I said, let's give a shot. Let's see. I mean, I have nothing to lose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that interview that I had basically was for a AWS cloud engineer position. It was with the two architects, which had like a huge years behind them.
Hmm.
And the thing is that these guys were very open-minded. They said, of course, you need to have some projects built up. You need to have some experience because we will send you to the customers, and we cannot send people with no experience or without any projects behind them. And I was not prepared for that, but I do not regret having that experience because that helped me to see what is behind the curtains, let's say, and how the
Hmm.
real things are happening. Otherwise, you just hear people talking about things, but you need to have actually the reality in front of you. And then I said, okay, I'm not prepared for the moment. Let's build up the skills. Let's build up the projects. And when I will feel that I'm actually prepared, then I will start applying for more interviews
Jobs.
and
Yeah.
jobs and so on. And not to mention that all my interviews are in German.
Mm.
Yeah, so whatever I learn from academy, I need to do an extra work
Translating it.
to translate that concepts and the projects and everything in German because yeah, I'm Germany, right?
Yeah. No, that's really good. So it's double the effort for you. So that makes the result and the win even sweeter for you. So really, really good. What did you, so just to recap on that part, so you were like in week 3 and week 4, and you already had an AWS cloud engineer interview. So I think even though you weren't prepared, I think just getting the interview probably gave you the confidence that you just need to keep learning a little bit more and then you can just try again, right?
Exactly. And my surprise was that after we basically end up the interview, the guys were saying to me, look, we are willing to give you a chance. So just let us know when you are prepared, and then we can resume our interview. We can have
Mm.
another session. But yeah, let us know in advance some projects you have worked so far, and then we can discuss on the project itself, and then we can see how the things are going. Yeah. So it's good also to have some sessions, some interviews prepared. But I would say you need to first get some experience.
Yeah, for sure. Nice. And then what specifically from the academy, from the coaching or the curriculum and the mentorship, or what was it really that has helped you, the projects? What are you kind of find most beneficial in securing your role?
Um, First is the mindset. Everything starts with the mindset. Um, Focusing on what you're doing, ignoring everything else. This is one of the key part in securing yourself a job.
Hmm.
I- If you're not focusing on what you are doing and you are just doing many things in the same time, you will not get results. You need to know exactly what you want to do. Have the, let's say, the picture in front of you.
Yeah.
Exactly what do you want to achieve in how many months or how many weeks, or and then just focusing on that. The second thing is that you need to build up your experience, and this is only way how you can build up experience by working on the projects. Having only technical knowledge or theoretical knowledge will not get you a job. At the moment that you start working, then you start learning.
Yeah.
And then when you are able to also explain why you have done it in that way and not in that way, then the job is yours.
Yeah. So the trade-offs, explaining the why, and breaking things down basically for the person that you're speaking to, because a lot of people will just list the services and they'll say the definition of what EC2 is, VPC, but be able to explain your reasoning, your thinking, your decision making. That's what's actually going to get you hired. And that's how you don't look too junior, basically, if you can speak like that. What was like the interview process like for you? Because you still didn't complete the academy and you've
Yeah.
got a job. What week are you in? Just for my understanding.
I finished week 6.
You're in week 6 of the academy and you had
Yeah,
one interview
yeah,
very early, and then your second interview, you got the job.
yeah.
So you had 2 interviews, 50% success rate.
Yeah, I had some other interviews for the roles which were in a different area, let's say, but was
Mm,
not something that I wanted to have. So, well, the decision was done basically when they asked me, show me something what you have done recently. And then I showed up some of the scripting I was doing in my last few months. I was doing some scripting for automation in the cloud with the PowerShell. And they said, what is the purpose of this scripting that you
mm,
have done? I said, look, it's for provisioning. I have
mm,
created this PowerShell script. You can provision mailboxes. You can assign licenses to the users. You can have a report daily sent to your mailbox with your environment and your resources and so on and so on. And they said, do you like scripting? And I said, the scripting is the most efficient way to get the things done
yeah.
without clicking too much, because I hate clicking. So they said, can you share with me exactly the script and explain me how you have done it and why you have used this function and that function and so on. I said, yeah, sure. Let me share my screen.
Hmm.
I was sharing my screen and then I was able to explain the script, how it's working, why I use that function, that variable, and so on and so on. And he saw that I know what I'm talking about, so I'm not just trying to play smart.
Yeah.
And then he said, "Okay, for us, this is enough. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. I bet
when
you
you,
there's a good. You felt
yeah,
really relieved when he said that.
yeah. That's something, yeah, fine. And then I'm starting next week, actually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we'll talk about that. So what do you think specifically got you hired in the end? Like, what do you think it was? Because it could have been PowerShell, but it would have been a lot more than just showing, what you've built. So what do you think made them think, okay, this guy knows what he's doing and we should hire him?
Let's be very honest with you, Suleiman. Knowing things will get you confidence. And when you enter in the interview with the confidence and uh, they see that you know how to react,
Hmm.
because they will ask you, how do you react in this situation, that situation? Without knowing that, no Q&A session, no, nothing can prepare you for real kind of situation.
Yeah.
And you cannot be very confident if you are not having some solid background behind you. They can read you, right? They can see
Hmm.
your face, they can see your reactions, they can see how you behave in different situations. Of course, they will try to put you in difficult situations to see how do you react. And one of the questions was, what do you do when you are in a situation which you have not faced before? How do you troubleshoot that situation?
Okay.
And my answer was, first, I will have to understand what happened, because if you understand what happened, then you can have some thoughts, some ideas where to start from. In my area, of course, you start by reading the logs. You start reading the alerts you have received, and then from that you start and you go to the root cause of the issue. And this made a difference because they said, okay, we need someone with experience, with will know how to deal with difficult situations. We don't need anyone here which will pretend that knows all the answers for our
Hmm.
questions, because that would be a red flag, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you were just honest of what you knew, what you don't know. Obviously, you have engineering skills anyway, and now you've got new cloud skills, and you're proactive. All of these things make a real difference. What was your day to day going to look like when you start next week?
I will join to a team with different backgrounds because some of the guys will be more focused on Unix, Linux servers, some others will
Hmm.
be focusing on other area like virtualization and so on. Um, Half of the day I would be working on the with my colleagues on the day-to-day jobs, monitoring infrastructure, seeing what the things are coming, emails, incident, and so on.
Hmm.
Having also different teams with the need they have, and second half of the day would be only projects, migration projects, infrastructure projects, things to develop, so things like that.
Okay, makes sense. In Germany, just a side question, is the notice period not very long then? I'm guessing you have like a 30-day notice period. Is that right?
Can be 30 days, can be 3 months,
Uh-huh.
depending on how you negotiate your contract.
Yeah.
So most of the cases it's like, yeah, 3 months. Um, but in my case, I was able to negotiate with the current company to have a shorter notice
Yeah, makes
period.
sense. So now that you're going to be working in a cloud role, your learning is going to accelerate even more because you're going to be doing, like you said, more operational stuff in the morning and then more project work on the side or in the afternoon. So you're getting a really good blended skill set, which is actually an ideal place to be because you're going to learn things where you have to be reacting and be proactively monitoring and optimizing things, but also you're going to be building things that are like more strategic. So, in my view, this is like one of the best roles you can kind of get because your skill set over the next 6 to 12 months is going to be like even better, right? You're going to go really, really quickly, develop really, really quick. So, like, June start by September, if you don't have a holiday in Germany, you're going to be a completely different person, right? Because you're going to learn so much in such a short space of time. And if you then look back a year from now, like who knows, you could be doing whatever you want basically because you'd have learned so much, which is really, really cool. So what just going back to that before and after, like, how much do you think has changed since you joined the academy compared to like where you are now in that short space of time? Like, what's different for you specifically as a person?
For me as a person, is that um, I got more confident in myself and in my knowledge and my expertise.
Mm,
Um, and second thing is that I'm more focused on the new technologies, AI, AWS, Azure Cloud, and so on. I learned how to build up infrastructure in the cloud, which was completely new for me.
hmm
Um, how you create security layers in the cloud and how you secure your environment, these kind of things. I learned I learned from the academy. Okay, I still did not finish all my trainings. That's
Yeah.
true, but I will do that for sure. For me, it was quite important to get a job because learning and working in the same time is the best way how to develop yourself.
Yeah, I think it doesn't really matter you didn't finish. The best thing you can do is get hired, right? If you could all get hired in 2 weeks, great, right? But that's great. At the end of the day, like I want people to join to get the outcome that they want, which is to get hired. So the closer we can make that transition or the faster, the better it is. And obviously, you've got lifetime access to everything anyway. So even if you want to join the calls in 6 months from now, you can still join those calls. So nothing's going to get revoked. So that's really good. So for someone who's like in a similar position to where you were, maybe stuck doing some self-paced learning, struggling, or maybe even scared to make the jump into cloud, what would you say to that person?
He needs to take some decisions. If he wants to make a change, he needs to be dedicated. He needs to focus on that, leave everything else behind, or just isolate himself in this kind of working for some time. In my case, it was a little bit more difficult because I was also working, so I didn't have the, let's say, someone who is laid off and he has no other things to do. He can do this training academy in like 8, 9 hours per day. Of course, he will finish it much sooner as someone who is already doing some other things. Yeah, so you need to understand what are your priorities first.
Hmm
Give it. I mean, if you want to build up the skills, you need to understand that you need to put some effort. Nothing's coming up very lightly. There is no any magic solution, nothing like that. It's just work, 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 being consistent, building up the things, going in the right direction, having someone to guide you when you do mistakes, and then the results will come up.
Yeah, really good. And what's the one thing you learned most about yourself?
I learned that if you have a goal, no matter if you are busy or not, if you are having a job or not, you need to allocate some time daily and to be consistent in working in that direction.
Mm,
Without this, you cannot evolve. Um, that's it. I don't think there is other way to do that. Engineers or the people who are dedicating this kind of time when they have some free space, some free time, these are the guys which will make progress and will be part of something which matters.
Yeah.
This is what I was doing. After 9 hours of work, I spend another 2, 3 hours daily. Even
Yeah.
weekend, in weekends, I was spending the whole weekends.
Yeah.
And this helped me, of course, because otherwise you cannot do it. You cannot do
Yeah.
it.
It's very similar to my transition. So I was in a role doing all the work before work and after work, like learning. And then when I realized that this is going to work, so I was doing some applications, then I quit my job basically because I already had some intuition that, the work that I've been doing is getting me closer. So what I need to do now is make the full jump and then apply and get hired. But obviously, if I could have done it whilst not quitting, it's would have been great as well. So I think the way that you've done it is probably better. It's a little bit more safe, I would say. I took a bit of a more of a risky approach, but yeah, really, really good. Anything else you want to add on, and end on?
I would just add, guys, just focus on what is important for you, and
Mm,
then the results will come up.
yeah, really good. No, appreciate you joining and taking time out of your day to capture this, and hopefully you have a really good start to your role. And then if there's anything you need, obviously when you're in the role, you can join the calls. Obviously, we've got calls with engineers every single day, so you could
Yeah,
always join in. And if there's something at work that you need help on or doesn't make sense, you could just join and ask. So you have that
I'll do
place
that.
to do. Yeah, cool. All right, good to catch up, Cosmin, and I'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care. Bye bye.
Bye bye.